Hi everyone, Paul Hubib here. Hope you are doing well. Today we're going to be chatting with Bryan Krasovskis, a name you probably don't know, but one you will definitely remember after this chat. Heading into another week of this pandemic, this essential service worker has really taken his running to another level and has started to inspire many people who follow him. And that's why we're going to share his story today. Welcome to Runversations One-on-One. Good morning, Bryan. How are you?
Morning. How you doing? Good.
Good. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So actually, I've been following you on Instagram for a while, and I've seen your story as it's kind of evolved over the last year. But before we get into the things that you're currently doing, why don't you tell us about why, or what is it that you love about running? Well, how did you get into running?
That's a funny story. When I was in like elementary school, I thought doing the longer distances, nobody doesn't want to do those. So that's where I started at.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't until like high school where I had a track coach, Mr. Yap, at Lower Seacourt in St. Catharines, who believed in me. And I learned a lot from him. And I moved, he elevated myself. He had confidence in me. And I probably wouldn't be the runner I am today without him leading me in high school to be the best I can be. A lot of faith in me. So,
were you doing short distance or long distance?
I was doing the 3,000 meters to 1,500 meters in high school. No short distance, but his coaching theory and his, it was a huge difference from like any other coaches I've had and previously in high school.
And so that's continued up to today, right? Was there any break in the running, or did you continue to run throughout?
I ran a little bit after high school. I did my first marathon in high school, the Niagara Falls Marathon.
Probably took Niagara Falls was your first marathon.
Yes.
Yeah. And how was that experience?
Good. I ran 3 hours, 31 minutes.
Oh, wow. It's really good.
My only training for that was cross-country practices. I maybe did like a 2-hour run, but it was a lot of short runs before tackling the marathon. And I remember that course very well. It's you're running down the parkway and you see the Skyline Tower. You think you're close, but it's
there's still a bit more. Yeah. And did you do as well as you thought you were going to do? Was it what you expected, or?
Yeah, I didn't. You don't know till you run your first marathon like how difficult it can be, but I came second in my age group, so I was happy with that.
Did you run? Oh, you came second. Wow, amazing. Yeah. Did you run other marathons after that?
Yes, I've done 6 other marathons. I took a little break after high school, like maybe 2-3 years. Then I picked it up again. I've proposed to my wife at the 2004 Ottawa Marathon at the finish line.
Wow. Did she expect that to come?
No. It was just a trip to Ottawa, and then I had it all planned out. So it was.
Wow, that's awesome. Was she running as well?
No, I don't blame her.
Well, that's good. And I guess she said yes. So that was great. So that's good. Yeah. It's a good way to end the race for sure. And so you're an essential worker, correct? You're a manager at Sobeys?
Yeah, produce manager at Sobeys.
Well, thank you for all you continue to do, especially during this tough time. And so, we're going into week 46 of this pandemic. And so, how's it been for you with regards to, how you guys have been doing? Well, is your family okay? Have you guys managed to stay healthy? And then we'll talk about your mom in a sec. But did that interrupt your running at all?
It did. Yeah. Especially last year, I was training for a spring marathon, Niagara Marathon. And first week of March, that there was a switch on that Thursday when Doug Ford made that call, and it was just chaos at work for a couple months. So it was just very busy. So running was put aside. There was no races. Everything was being canceled at the moment. Right. So driving home, right, from Stony Creek, Niagara Falls, you just see the empty streets, like empty parking lots. It was actually pretty sad, depressing to see that. So for about a couple months, it was just, I may ran 50K in like 2 months after that.
Right. And there was a huge impact on everyone's mental health. And I know you're going to be doing something about that too later on. We'll talk about that too. And then when you, like you've been working since then, like there hasn't been a break for you. You've been continuing to go.
Yeah, I've had vacations, but like they're stay vacations, right? You know, stay home with the kids, and there's been like a lot of people are probably in the same boat. They want to get away, but you just stuck at home and just, you know, it's just that's how we have to handle it. Just stay at home.
And how have the kids been handling this change?
Good.
Yeah, good.
It's hard, being a teacher. Not being like trying to help them with the schoolwork and all that. It's been rough. It's hard. It's new for them too. So, but try to keep them busy.
Good. Well, we all know that you know, COVID has impacted a lot of people in various different ways, and how it's affected you has been very impactful. And so I just want to share, you know, how your mom passed away, I believe, on Christmas Eve.
Yes, Christmas Eve.
It was due to COVID?
Yes, COVID.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're very, very sorry to hear that. But tell us about your mom. What was she like?
She was very given. She was, you know, always busy baking, crocheting, doing crafts. She was very good at that. That's where I learned a lot of my cooking skills, I guess. I love to cook.
This was a quilt that she made for you, right? Out of your race t-shirts?
Yes, back in the 2000s.
And then the pillows as well are your race t-shirts as well too, right?
Yes, she was very, very gifted. I always saw those in the back of the Runner's World magazine where they have all the acts. And then I let my mom go to town, and she made that and got it for Christmas. It was nice.
Did you know she was making this when she gave it to you?
I didn't know when I was gonna get it. I think I was surprised. On the quilt itself, it actually has a picture, and in the bottom right, if you look at it, there's the Ottawa Marathon picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
T-shirt material. So that was a surprise for me as well. So,
well, it's beautiful. To be totally honest with you, it's really beautiful, and even the pillows, or how she did the pillows, are really, really cute. So that must be a really nice keepsake.
Yeah, it's I gotta keep it folded up in my closet, just keep it safe.
How big is it roughly?
It fits a full-size couch, so that's sitting on the couch right now. So.
Oh yes, that's correct. I do see that. Yeah. So. Oh, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so, how did she enjoy the fact that you ran? Like, was she a good fan of yours that way?
We kept a lot of feelings, like very like close. We weren't very we didn't really show our emotions that well.
Mm-hmm.
She did buy my first running book for me though. That's
good. The complete book of running. That's good. She was trying to make you an overall strong runner, I guess, eh?
Yeah, and then I remember the athletic awards. We had it at night. We had just all the sports peoples and their families. And then when my coach made a speech, he was teared up. So I think he knew. So.
Well, that's good. I'm sure she was very proud of you. And the things that you're doing right now, the things that I've been seeing you do on Instagram, I can imagine she's very proud and watching over you to make sure that you're okay, because you're doing a lot of running these days. So, yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, have you had any injuries with regards to your running?
Just little. My biggest, not during the streak, I've had little needles. I had a big fall, but I got up, still ran. My biggest injury I've had in the past 2 years, I was training for the Hamilton Marathon.
Yep.
And in June, I got plantar fasciitis, which was the worst injury ever.
Yeah, can be very painful.
Took 2 months off from running. My wife's aunt is a kinesiologist, so she gave me some tips. So I pretty much fixed it on my own with some tips, seeing stuff on YouTube and internet. So I went back to training in the fall, and then I ran a 4:08 marathon. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. And no return of that plantar fasciitis?
No.
Knock on wood. Let's knock on wood somewhere.
That was my first marathon, because I had actually a 9-year hiatus from running, 8 years. Right. So that was my first marathon in 8 years.
And how was it after?
Emotional. It was like,
yeah.
It was against me to finish that race. It was very there was 9 kilometers of headwind during that race.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah, all along Highland Avenue in
wow. Does any of your other family members run?
No, I'm the only.
Yeah. So they're just a support crew.
Yeah. I don't blame them either. It's a grueling. It's like a second job at sometimes.
Well, yeah, actually it is, with the effort that you put into it. What is it about running that you love?
The freedom. Just enjoy weather. It's your own time to yourself.
Yep.
Be healthy. My father passed away when I was 6, month before Christmas, 1986.
He was young. He was around 38, right?
Yeah. And I just turned 40 this year. I mean, in 2020. So to be healthy and be there for my family, that's another important thing about it too.
Well, that's an excellent goal for sure, especially with, these crazy days that are happening with the pandemic. Try and stay healthy and be there for your family, right?
Yep, and also mentally sane, right? Like, it just being mental strong and tough, it helps.
Are you a guy that runs with music or no music?
It's a funny story. So I used to run with music, and then 2019 I went for a run on a Saturday night, and I run a lake. It was just after dinner, so I'm like, safety wise, I went no music, so I can hear everything. So for a full year I went no music, and I just been listening to music now the last couple of long runs, just to have a change of pace and just like block out the outside world sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good distraction for sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, good. And so now I want to talk about the streak that you're on, and it's a streak that you started back in May, right? And this is the number 10, when you hit number 10. And, it just kept going and going, at least from what I see. This was number 50.
Yeah.
And then eventually you got to 100. And then on, I think it's Christmas Day or just before Christmas, you hit your 200th day and met up with a friend.
Yep. That's my best friend from high school, Joe Catella.
Yeah.
So the 200th, it was a mile loop around. He lives in Burlington, so there's a path behind his house. So to like me up to the path and back to his house was 1 mile loop even. So he filmed me, and he was the first person I told about my streak. Like, I'm gonna start a streak June 1st and just see where it takes me. So he's
it's taken you far. This was yesterday, 237 you're at right now. And yesterday was a pretty cold day too. And so you've managed to keep it going. What's been the driving force for you here?
See how long I can go. I never ever once even ran 7 straight. I don't think, even in training before. Right. So just keep it going and trying to inspire others. No.
What's your family think about the streak?
They don't speak too much of it. They probably think I'm crazy.
And do you have a lot of other running friends that are like doing something similar? Or you mentioned your friend there was videotaping you. They must be proud of you, at least.
Oh, he's very proud. He's he commented on all my when I posted on Facebook. He makes comments on all my runs. So like with numbers, we've been best friends since high school. So it's been a lot of good support to have him.
And so each day that you're running, are you like, is there a specific distance that you want to go? I mean, I'm assuming on a streak, sometimes time and pace doesn't really matter, but just getting out there. But is there a specific distance you're looking to get?
For the first, because the summertime was very nice, so I got a lot of run distance in. I vary. I go by how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off on a weekend or a weekday, I try to go longer.
Right.
The short winter days have made it tough.
Right.
So I do a 1.5 mile loop in my neighborhood just for those. It feels short, but I put a lot of effort with speed and all that with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
November, I did 300K in a month.
Wow.
So I decided after that, December was going to be just a low key month, which helps with giving the legs a rest and
Right.
injury protection, and then start building up again.
Are you finding any mental walls as you're, getting up each day to do your run? Or is this like every day you're really looking forward to getting out there?
There's mental blocks. I mean, on certain days, like on my days off, I'm a sort of a sleep in mid-morning run, like just get awake, a couple of coffees in. Mental, trying to find different routes. That's the only biggest mental block. It's
Sure.
where I'm gonna, because I find if you run the same route for a couple days in a row, and it's like, okay, it's boring. Like I just got to keep on going, find something else.
And so like going into the streak, has your nutrition changed at all?
I try my very best to eat very healthy.
Yeah.
I don't splurge on junk food and all that.
Right.
If I eat like garbage one day, I'm going to feel it the next day in my run.
Yeah.
So drinking, I keep very minimal. That's key to.
And then what about your shoes? You must be going through shoes like crazy.
I'm very fortunate. I could get I'm bad, but I could get almost close to like 1,000 kilometers on a pair of shoes. Like I'm very,
wow,
so
that's good.
Fortunate that way to have that gait kind of stride and landing.
And what kind of shoes are you using?
I use Adidas. My first part of it, I've used Saucony's, and now I'm in a pair of New Balance.
Wow. Well, good. That's good. That's a long time to go through on shoes, and that's good that you're able to do that. Most people can go anywhere between 500, 600 kilometers, and they got to rotate their shoes. Actually, do you rotate between shoes, or are you using the same shoe each run?
I use same shoe each run.
Yeah.
I'm very, I don't know. I'm very odd sometimes, I would say. Very,
How would you describe yourself as a runner?
Decent, I would say, probably like in the middle of the pack kind of a run. I'm running times now with my streak back when I was in high school and in my early 20s. I feel it's like, it feels like I rewind the clock on time a little bit. That consistency is key for anybody's running.
Yeah.
It's just, I'll have bad days and I'll have good days. So
you've really noticed a huge change then with your running then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great example of what consistency can do. And so 365, 1 year, you'll be reaching May 31st, correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right, so tell us about what special thing you're doing.
Well, before I even thought about what I was going to do, I wanted to do a big run anyways. So to celebrate, I'm going to run from Burlington, Joseph Brant Hospital to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. It's about 58, 60 kilometers. I was measuring on Map My Run. So when you get into Toronto, a little bit tricky. And my goal is to raise money for Pass Stone's mental health. As mental health is probably bigger than after COVID, it's probably the next big issue we have to deal with now with this pandemic.
That's amazing. And Path Stone is a great service in the Niagara region to really support, and we've partnered with them before too. So that's amazing. And so it's just one way, right? You're not running back to Joseph Brand?
No, one way.
And so, and what made you decide to choose that route?
I did a run back in October. My friend lives in Burlington, so one of my runs I ran from Confederation Park to his house. He lives off Appleby line, about a kilometer from the highway, and running down Lake Shore to Appleby. It's such a beautiful course. It's just beautiful, like, scenery. It's a change in scenery, not the same scenery. So I felt go something big, and then I've driven along that route many times, and it's a very nice change in route, different neighborhoods.
So, I mean, bringing awareness to mental health is very much a huge thing. And we know that, you know, as you mentioned, right after COVID, there's a lot of people going through some struggles right now. And so it's amazing that you're bringing awareness to mental health and, you know, partnering with Pathstone as well. Now, are you putting together a crew for this event?
Right now, I got my best friend. He's watching me every 5 to 10 kilometers. I asked my brother to ride my bike alongside me just for my Gatorade or any nutrients. I have my wife follow, meet me up every little bit, reaching out to some other people, and hopefully they'll be on board with it.
Well, we can't wait to see you do that. Have you ever run an ultra before?
No, this will be my first time. So I've always wanted to do it. So.
Are you starting first thing in the morning?
7 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on weather. Maybe 6 a.m. It depends. It can get tricky around that time of year.
You have a goal in mind of what time to get to sick kids?
7 hours.
7 hours. Oh, good. Good.
So, I actually reached out to Dean Karnazes, sent him an email last week about any advice. He gave me some advice back. So
he did. Oh, good.
And it was good because very down to earth guy. So.
Have you ever met him?
No, I would like to.
Yeah, he was. I met him once, and he came to this event for North Endurance. And so I was lucky enough to meet him once. And you're right, he is a very down-to-earth guy. And have you read his books? Great stories.
No, I like to.
Yeah, they're very great stories, especially about how he got into running. And it was a situation that he wasn't even really thinking about getting into running. And then, you know, now he's this ultra marathon star. So that's good. I'm glad so what advice did he give you?
Just if you're a drinker, like no alcohol. He said it's very different from person to person. Go for a 50K run to see get your confidence up.
Right.
And just leading into the run itself. Very like natural food choices, not get away from the refined foods and pretty much like healthy, like just very.
So when you brought this idea to your family, what did they say? Other than you're crazy.
It's good. I know, like, I have a few people close to me that do suffer from mental illness.
Yeah.
Growing up, I've witnessed some stuff that maybe affected my part of it. So I just want to give back. And then.
Well, Pathstone must have been really happy you reached out to them.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, good. That's good. And so, are you planning to potentially do a 50 before you're 50, or are you just going to, because you're running every day, right? Until then.
Yeah. So I got, a couple of weeks vacation left. So I'll probably use a vacation week just for that. Just that way I can still do a couple short runs after.
Right.
Because after I did the runs to my friend's house and back to Confederation Park, that was 38K. So I was still able to keep running every day. So
June 1st, are you looking to still continue to run?
We'll see how it goes. I would love to. There's no race right now, so to me, virtual races are it's hard. I think just to be one-on-one. I'm ready to start with some other groups of people that run. So like, I would love a race anytime.
Well, I mean, let's hope that come October we can all start racing again. I mean, It doesn't seem like that right now, but I think, you know, if everyone does what they need to do to protect everybody, let's hope that we can get back to running, because, you know, seeing all these races canceled, we can see the effects of how it's affecting runners for sure.
Oh yeah, it's tough for us right now.
Like often, how, like, would you be doing many races during a normal year?
Oh, since I got, like, after doing the Hamilton Marathon after 9 years, I was excited to get back into running. So even the Niagara running series, a lot of good local races there. I was hoping to get back into it, and then COVID came.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you continue your streak even after the 1 year, are you hoping to just keep it going, or I guess it just depends on how things unfold?
How things unfold. I would like to, but maybe the body needs a break, but we'll see from there. I'm very, I remember at the 2004 Ottawa Marathon, my wife was at the finish line all set up, and someone mentioned to her that we're just a bunch of masochist runners. We just love pain, so.
Well, you know what? I mean, you going every single day for almost a year now. I mean, but you know, there are, you know, as much as, you know, we're pushing ourselves to the limit, I think you strike me as the guy that's really trying to see how far you can go.
Yeah, I've been that since day one. Like when I was younger, you know, just the situation I was in, situations I've been in, it's just the testament of will, and just we all have something that we can push ourselves. We just gotta open that door and just test our limits.
Do you see any other big type of event goals for you down the road? Something that you've always said I want to do, or?
I've always wanted to be a race director.
Okay.
So this fundraiser maybe can turn into a yearly thing where I just keep it closer to home after next year. Next year, like just keep on going and raising money for mental illness and have more people involved.
That would be amazing if you can do that. I mean, to be in the race community, and I think, you know, when you see other runners, they're always supportive, they're always appreciative, they're always individuals who can really make sure that you're okay, even while you're running during a race. There's always people saying, "You okay?" I mean, I've heard that lots of times, especially when I'm slowing down. They're like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm okay. I'll just keep going. But and I'm sure you've, you know, encountered that as well, right?
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And so May 31st is your attempt. Well, not attempt. You are going to do that from Joseph Brant to sick kids and in support of Pathstones. That's amazing. Before we end, usually we go through a quick ask our guests questions. It's just a quick question and then a quick answer from our guests. And so I'll ask you a bunch of questions and then you can just give me a quick answer, okay?
Okay.
All right. So who's a runner you'd love to meet, past or present? And I'm going to, sorry, say it again?
Steve Prefontaine.
All right, that's what I thought you'd say, because I remember seeing this on your Instagram account where you drew his picture, which is amazing, by the way. And are you an artist as well?
I get that from my dad. He's very, he was, I can't think of the name right now. Oh my gosh. He is a draftsman for Franny Packard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is amazing. And this is one of Steve Prefontaine's most iconic pictures too, right? Of him running. It's one of the memories that that a lot of people have prior to him being in his accident and passing away early. So amazing job, really nice. When I saw that, I thought, I wonder if it's Steve Prefontaine he would like to meet, past or present. So it's a really good picture. Tough question here. If you had to choose, what would you pick? Tickets to a Leaf game or free entry to a race? Because I know you're a big Leaf fan too.
Oh yeah. Probably free entry to a race.
Oh.
I got to see the Leafs a couple times, so.
Yeah, that's good. Have you always been a Leaf fan?
Yes, since I was a kid.
Well, let's hope. Me too. Let's hope they do well this year. So far they're doing okay, but let's hope they keep it going. So What is the ideal running weather for you?
Fall or spring.
Yeah.
When it's just like above 0 to 10 degrees, sunny, but no wind.
So your 1 year attempt, when you do that on May 31st, it could potentially be really warm.
Yeah, I remember doing the Buffalo Marathon, and it was a hot weekend in 2011. It was like, wow, it was just, I finished the race, but I was like, wow, just
really hot.
Just...
What's your most favorite accomplishment?
Family.
Awesome. Awesome. Who inspires you to run?
I think everybody, like social, like my friends, family, because I feel like I'm holding myself accountable on this streak, but I'm doing it for everybody so that it can help inspire them.
Well, I tell you, every day I see your posts, it really inspires me as you keep going each day. And now I know you'll go at least until the 1 year and see how that goes afterwards.
Really, I put my foot in my mouth already, so.
You're committed now. You got to do this.
Yeah.
Bucket list race that you want to do. And you could say Niagara too. That's okay. But Boston is that what you said? Yeah.
I was 1 year, I think it was 2010. I was 8 minutes from qualifying.
Wow.
So I ran a 3:19 in Mississauga.
Wow. Well, I really hope that you eventually get that opportunity to do that. I mean, it's a historic course, right? And I think that's a bucket list for many runners. And so I hope you eventually get to that. It's a bucket list of mine, so hopefully I'll get to that too. Favorite post-run meal?
Post-run, it'd be like just egg omelet and toast.
Good for you. Keep it healthy. That's good. 2 words to describe your passion for running. 2 or 3 words.
Motivated and consistent.
Well, definitely you are consistent. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Toughest race you've ever done?
It was the Hamilton Marathon.
What was so tough about it?
Even though you had the downhill part in the red hill, even between the first 15 kilometers, there were some hills that you didn't expect. I didn't expect to have them, and they're rolling hills, but they're enough hills to beat you up in the first half. And running down the hill itself, it killed my Achilles.
Right. That's because that's a steep hill.
Oh yeah.
That's a very steep hill. Okay, and last question. What advice would you give to those who want to start a streak or fulfill a goal? What type of advice would you give them?
Go for it. You don't know what you have till you start. Everyone's different, but open that door and just have faith, confidence, and then you can push yourself.
Amazing. Well, Bryan, we really appreciate you joining us today. It was a great story that you have, and I think it's just really beginning, to be totally honest with you. I think there's lots of great things that you're going to be doing ahead, and it's amazing that you're bringing awareness to mental health. And please let us know how it goes with your run on May 31st. We'd love to hear how that goes. I know you posted. We'll check in on you and make sure you're doing okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Bryan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.